I'm gonna demonstrate what it's like to have a conversation with the friend that secretly wants your man. Oh my god, your boyfriend's such a sweetheart. I know he is. I really like him. I think we're gonna last a while. Yeah, no, like, I totally get it. Like, I get it. You get what? Like, I see what you see in him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see why you like him. I can see it. Yeah, he's really nice. Oh my god, me and my boyfriend got in like a huge argument the other day. I think this is the first big argument we've ever gotten into in the entirety we've been together. Really? What was it about? I mean, it started off small, but then it just spiraled into something bigger. But we both sorted things out. We both apologized. Things were good. I think we have better communication now. Like it was a lot, but we ended up sorting it out, so it's fine now. I just feel like you don't really need to put up with that, you know? Like, why don't you just get with someone else? I mean, couples do fight. Like that's a part of being in any kind of relationship, friendship, romantic, or like anything, you know? It's normal. I know, I just feel like you deserve a lot better, you know? Like, I just kind of feel like you don't really need to be with somebody like him. It was a small argument, and you literally said that he was so sweet. Like, you said you liked him a lot. Do you want to come over later? I don't know. I'm kind of lazy today, but like, what time? No, it's fine if you don't want to. I mean, my boyfriend's here, so if you don't want to hang out, I'll probably just hang out. Oh, he's there? No, we should all hang out. No, I just mean just the two of us. I didn't mean the three of us. I just meant me and you. No. Tell him to come out with us, or I can go there. Whatever you want. It doesn't matter.
One of my issues is that, like, while I'm waiting for the love of my life, I obviously date and I have fun and I meet people and whatever.
Meaning, if she finds a dude attractive, even though he's full of red flags, she's gonna go fuck him. Okay, let's continue hearing what she had to say.
Meet people and whatever, but sometimes I'll meet a guy and I'll be like, oh my god, like, he's just for fun. That's cool. He's obviously like a walking red flag, but like, it's just for fun, so it doesn't matter.
See, when they're being honest, they actually let you know. So you know these guys are red flags, and you still mess with them. Kind of makes you laugh when y'all try to make fun of red pillars, because they literally say this. Fellas, understand, while she's waiting for you, like, the Chad and Tyrone's are out here fucking using her as a cum dumpster, having a good old time.
Wrong. That's what I've learned this year.
Damn, she's 35 years old, still doing that? She learned that at 35? That's why I thought only like 21-year-olds did that. I thought the 30 and up crowd was like on a whole nother level.
Get with a guy or hang out with a guy who's like a walking red flag or just like not up to par. You'll end up getting, you can't escape unscathed. You can't escape unscathed. And
right, you're damaged. You're fucked up. This is literally what men have been talking about. I'm just glad she's got a 1.5 million followers at 35 years old, and she's like, I'm learning. I shouldn't. I when I see other ref, I shouldn't go and fuck them and spend time. That's fucking wild to me, bro. Let's look at the comments. As soon as I'm gonna show you just a quick. Soon as I hit the comment button, hold on. Look at this shit. Endless baggage from just for fun guys. Yes, so true. Do it for the plot turns into months, years, indefinite time facing unhealed wounds, triggers. And y'all wonder why dudes don't want to date the mid 30 and up. You're full of trauma. Now, okay. I would like to say that it's not your fault, but she literally admits it. And the comment section is nothing but women admitting that y'all are proving the red pill creators correct. And I don't want to fucking deal with y'all are damaged as fuck. Oh well. I like when they snitch on themselves. I like it. Kudos.
I mean, are we thinking that men are just making this type of stuff up? This is what men continue to say. That's what they continue to say. It doesn't come out of nowhere. It's not men making stuff up and like, oh, well, I'm just bitter. And so she did this to me and I'm just going to sit up here and lie on her. No, she's actually doing this type of stuff. Modern women are actually behaving in this manner. That's why men are saying they're behaving in this manner, because that's what they're doing. They're acting silly. They're doing all this type of stuff. It don't matter what age they are. These modern women, well, I wouldn't have expected her to be 50 and still doing. Yep, still doing it at 50. Wow, you mean at 60? You should have some grandkids by now. She does have grandkids, but she's still doing it because she thinks that, oh, I'm gonna get it. I'm the spicy grandma. Everybody needs love, and I'm the spicy old lady. That's what they're doing out here, man. They think that's cute. That's what I'm telling you. They think that type of behavior is cute. Modern women, it used to be that they had some decorum. And they talk about why is chivalry dead? Why don't men want to do anything for me? Well, how come men don't they don't take care, they don't provide anymore? Because you're telling us there's nothing for us to provide for. I can't take you seriously if another man is pounding you down. Why would I be attracted to that? Tell me. Why is that something that I would like? Modern women, once again, on their absolute worst behavior, expecting a man. And once again, we don't have to sit up here and guess. We don't have to guess what they're doing because they're telling us, I'm about to act like I don't have any common sense. I'm about to go out here and knowingly make wrong decisions. Yeah, we know. We're aware of that. I know you guys probably think that we hadn't caught on to what you guys are doing, but men know what you're doing. They already know your games. Keep on trying to tell you. There's an old saying, you don't ask a fish how to fish. You ask a fisherman, how do you do this? How do you work this thing? How do I catch a fish? You're going to ask, no, I don't know, because I'm a fish. I'm the one getting caught. Men have been observing your behavior as fishermen. And they say, nah, she's going to do this. Oh, no, I won't. This is what I want. I want this type of guy. Are you sure? Because it seems it seems like you're doing this right here. And that doesn't indicate to me that you want a nice guy. That indicates to me that you want a bad boy, like a Chad or a Tyrone. That's what that indicates to me. Yeah, well, I do want a man with a little bit of edge. Well, the guy that you just said was a nerd had a little bit of edge to him. He likes to go out and do some things that are would you consider edgy, right? Yeah, but it's just not the same. Not the same as what? What are you looking for? And they can't tell you. They can't articulate it because they don't like the nice guy. They don't like the nerdy guy. They like the bad guy who's going to make bad choices, but it's going to fill them up emotionally. It's going to make them feel alive emotionally because they're stuck being toxic. This is one of the women that are stuck being toxic. And obviously, it's not going to be all women, to be fair, but this is what men are talking about.
Good morning. Let's go over this text message conversation. I really need help, bitch. Of course you do. I don't respond. Can I borrow $60? For what? Plan B, the guy blocked me and I have literally no money. Please, I'm scared. So you spent your time and probably gas money, I assume this nigga has no car, to get cracked by a nigga that has no money and don't care about you. You told him I need a plan B. He blocked you. I'm sorry, it's not funny. And then your next thought was, you know what? Let me text James and he's gonna solve my problem. You're on hard drugs. Obviously, you are on like everything under the sun to even think that this is gonna go in your favor, because it's not. And this is the type of shit. I'm getting my number changed.
And another thing, when you bring up your feelings to this bitch and an argument jump out, it's because he's a bitch. That's why. You're communicating with a bitch. That's why the motherfucker won't listen. That's why you came to him with your feelings as a woman, and this bitch took over. He took the floor. This baby doll wearing shoe bitch took the floor. Soon as you tried to tell him about what you was going through as a woman, this bitch grabbed his lip gloss, applied it, and then told you something. See that? You can't even tell this bitch how you feel without him turning it around and making it about his feminine ass. Stop telling that bitch shit. He done heard enough. You done said it all before. So don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Because this bitch ain't listening. This bitch ain't listening to you at all. He waiting for you to shut the fuck up so that his lip gloss can pop. So he can start ranting like a little bitch. That's what he waiting on. This bitch ain't had nothing to say all motherfucking day. Then you go in there and try to let this bitch know how you feel. And this hoe take over the floor. It's showtime for this bitch. This bitch done shined up his ballerina shoes. Now he's stunting. Stop talking to that bitch. That bitch ain't listening. He waiting for his turn to jump in like double dutch. That bitch waiting for his turn to jump in and start talking. He ain't heard a damn thing your motherfucking ass said because he's a bitch. A feminine bitch. A sports bra, bad girls club watching bitch. Stop talking to that bitch.
So based on this, I can probably conclude that you didn't go in there as peaceful as you're trying to make us believe, did you? Well, I just wanted to share this, and this. Again, you didn't go in there as peaceful as you wanted us to believe you did. Now, did you? We also have to look at the fact that modern women, what they want to do is they want to go in there, even if it's, oh, well, you know, I tried to go in there and I tried to talk to him, but, you know, and I tried to be calm about it, but he just went off and I could have never even seen that. Yeah, they don't like to say, hey, a few days before I was acting a fool. A few days before I was saying stuff that I know I shouldn't have said. I was insulting him. I was saying a whole bunch of crazy out of pocket stuff. And this is stuff that I've been saying for literal years, but I didn't think it was important enough to stop. And so when he finally said, hey, we're not going to keep on doing that, then I just didn't want to listen because I felt like I wasn't doing anything wrong and I felt like it was justified. So I just kept doing it, and he was mad and we had a lot of arguments about that. But, you know, that's, what can I do? That's just how I was feeling in the moment, and I got to live my truth. Him having to listen to that BS, him having to hear that BS, you not wanting to change, you not wanting to do what you're supposed to do. And then now, when he had enough of your stuff, you want to, well, you know, now I want to come in here and I want to talk things out. I want to be meek about it, and I want to be humble about it because I know I hurt you, and I know I said some stuff that I shouldn't have said. We're not going to discuss that. We're not going to discuss the problem that you've been for these past few months, these past few years, for some of you modern women, and how y'all be showing up in relationships. We don't want to discuss that, do we? It's got to be the man's fault. And so now, because I'm upset, because that's what modern women do, because I'm upset, then I'm going to go ahead and just talk crazy like this. It's stuff I've been wanting to do anyway. I mean, so it's not a surprise. This is the type of nonsense the type of time that I've been on this whole entire, honestly, relationship. But let's say, especially within the past few years, this is the type of time that I've been on. And I really didn't want to disturb anything, or I wanted to try to quote unquote keep the peace. But now I feel like I have the edge and the upper hand over you. So now I want to talk to you crazy like I've been wanting to talk to you in the first place. But we going to get on here and we going to say it's his fault. we going to get on here and say, oh, he was the reason. Just like some other guy was saying, oh, well, she wouldn't have talked to you like this, and she would apologize if you to just do this, and this. And it's usually you doing it. Man, shut up. Stop talking, man. Y'all say a whole bunch of nonsense, a whole bunch of foolishness, knowing good and well modern women be out here causing problems. Modern women be out here starting storms, be starting fires. And then when people turn around and start dealing with it and giving you back the energy that you gave them, then all of a sudden they're toxic. All of a sudden they have the problem. Once again, no accountability. It seems to be a theme here amongst modern women. And it seems like some men are getting in on it too. Oh, but you were this and you were that. I don't care nothing about what you're calling me. I care about you correcting it and getting it right. That's what modern women do. And like I said, men started doing. Apparently, from what I'm seeing in these videos, they start, oh, well, if you did this and a real man, I don't care nothing about your definition of a real man. Because if a real man's going to get stuff in order, it's going to be in order is what it's going to be. And y'all don't like when people y'all don't like when people tell y'all stuff. I be telling you, hey, don't do that. Don't act like that. Act like this. Do this. I ain't listen to that. I ain't got to listen to no man. I don't need no man. Then a man's got to run behind you after you just told him, hey, don't do that. After you just told him that you're going to act crazy anyway. He got to run behind you and fix the stuff that you messed up. But we're not going to hear about that, are we? We're not going to hear about all, well, I'm coming to you meekly. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have done this, and this, but that don't mean anything, because the biggest problem is this, and this is how I feel because X, Y, and Z. Oh, now it's about how you feel. Well, no, I'm trying to be nice about it. I'm trying to work it out. Well, how come you wasn't trying to work it out a couple years ago? How come you wasn't trying to work it out when I was telling you a couple of months ago, hey, this is really bothering me, man? Well, I just feel like it's something that's best for me. But now he's acting like, you know, the woman in this situation. Because now he's upset with you. I get it. It's anything to escape accountability now. Even if the man say, hey, you know what? I'll listen to what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. Listen, my bad. I'm sorry for that. Right. But I also think, you know, coming from my point of view, I felt like X, Y, and Z. And like I said, I apologize. But this is the way I felt about whatever was going on at the time. And I just didn't feel like you really valued me that much, or you really took my opinion into consideration. And that's what had me hurt. And then stop talking and give you a chance to say what you need to say. And you don't say nothing but like, yeah, I understand that. But yeah, it really hurt my feelings. So you don't even respond to what he just said. You just keep on going on about your feelings. And he didn't sit there and said, you know, I apologize. And this is the reasoning behind it. And I'm really just still trying to get some clarity on why you did what you did. But the clarity never comes because you don't feel like you did anything wrong. You just went in there to dump on him and tell him what he did wrong to you and how he hurt you without correcting. At the same time, you correcting him, but you can't correct yourself.
I am seeing something, a trend. Girls are all going out with their girlfriends. There's not like one date in that.
Listen, I'm not surprised. Kevin Samuels talked about this. He said you're going to start to see women everywhere, women all out in the restaurants just with each other. And he was absolutely right. This is what we're seeing. You're seeing women everywhere, no man in sight. It's the reality of what's happening. And a lot of women, once again, they act like they're confused and they didn't think that it would get to this point, but it has. And it's because a lot of women have become selfish and entitled, and they don't know how to deal with men. They don't consider men. You know, a lot of women have said they don't need a man. All these women are boss chicks. They can make their own money. They can go out and eat as much as they want. But you didn't take into consideration that the men would actually respond to the information that you guys were putting out there. And it's unfortunate, but this is what is occurring. Restaurants filled with women, the men aren't there. You have these dating meetups and things of that, singles meetups, and no men are attending, or barely any men attending. They don't trust that they're going to find the right women that are out there. A lot of men are opting out of these types of things because they just want no parts of it. Because of social media and what women have said about men and how women are responding in this dating age, a lot of men are just removing themselves from it altogether. They're removing themselves because it's not what they're subscribing to. It's not what they want. And so they're very skeptical, and they're moving very skeptically when it comes to finding a wife or a companionship, because what they've seen on social media and how women are responding, what women talk.
If you ask someone what is non-toxic masculinity, they start to describe femininity. And femininity is femininity, and non-toxic masculinity. I think the for this is chivalry. I'm a fan of chivalry. Chivalry was a base concept that, look, men are strong and expected to be able to control their more base desires. So I may want to sit on the subway, but if a woman gets on the subway, I'm going to stand because theoretically my legs are stronger than hers. Now, again, whether that's true or not, how much poorer am I for that belief? If I just go, no, I'm going to stand and I'm going to say, man, would you like to sit? You want to light somebody up, by the way, open doors for them, give up your seat to someone. If you're walking down the street and it's raining and you have an umbrella and there's a woman who doesn't have an umbrella and you go, would you like to have a little of my umbrella? You will light somebody's day up doing things like that. As a man, you cannot go wrong being chivalrous. And again, with no expectation, with no sense of like, I'm trying to pick up on somebody. It is purely in my opinion, one of the best things about being male is the ability to provide and protect. It's what makes it kind of fun to be male and makes the drudgery and hard work of it worth something, is to see the people in your life thriving as a function of your tenacity and your intelligence and your hard work. So I think we need to sort of reinvent what is positive masculinity? What does it look like? Because a lot of the traits that are being called toxic masculinity, if routed in the right directions, are excellent. Aggression, aggression is not toxic if it's channeled in the right directions. You want soldiers, when there's a war, you want soldiers who are aggressive. Like, world needs bad men. They keep the other bad men from the door. But aggression can be channeled into your work. It can be channel my aggression in a courtroom like you wouldn't believe. When I pull up to the courthouse, I'm blasting the most vicious gangster rap or heavy metal you've ever heard to psych myself up to go in and do battle. And you want your lawyer to do battle. You don't want your lawyer to come in and be very communal in his approach to things. You don't want that. You want, if we're going to court, man, we're there to fight. We're there to throw hands, and you want someone who's ready to. It is better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. It is good to know. It is better to know how to fight and not need it than to need to fight and not know how to do it. It is much better I am a believer in civilize the mind and make savage the body, period. That is how we should approach life as men.
So yeah, I think with this, you talked about that last thing that you said when you basically said, I'd rather be a warrior in a garden. Well, essentially what you're going to get is not thank you. I feel like back in the day, you would have gotten well, he's a little clunky in the garden, but I'm working with him. I'm teaching him, but I just appreciate him for what he does. He's a warrior. This is not his element. He's out of his element. In the very same way that if I were to go into the battlefield and just saying the battlefield, when you really think about it, it's horrifying. The thought of men actually, we talk about, obviously the old battles, but World War I and World War II, and Vietnam and stuff, where they actually, well, you didn't have a battlefield, actually. Wherever the land was, it was the battlefield. But going over there specifically for the purpose, you imagine all of the uncontrolled puking and all that stuff that happened because they had to go do something that they like, oh man, we're going to do it. You want it. Your mind is wanting to do it. But the closer you get, you're like, man, is this really happening? You can only imagine it's some sort of surreal experience. It's a terrifying experience to have to go out there and do that. Right. This is what men used to do. And they would be appreciated at least for it. You at least could have somebody say, hey, thank you for your service. I appreciate our troops. But you don't really have that a lot anymore as people allow that type of stuff, I guess, nonsense and rhetoric to get in the way. And they say, oh, well, this shouldn't happen and that shouldn't happen and yada, yada, yada. Yeah, I get what you're saying. But these people might not have understood what was going on. You can still say thank you to them and appreciate them for the things that they've done. And that's what we're missing today is a thank you. Well, you should have known this. And as a human, how could you? You should have done this, and this. This is the type of stuff that they have to hear all over again, over and over again. Well, I can't excuse this is, and you complicit in this, and this. Really giving these guys the business. Like, dang, man, I thought I was doing something right. I mean, the least you could do is appreciate me for what I have done. Appreciate me for your ability to say this, to talk reckless to me. You could at least appreciate me for that, but they don't. And that's how men feel a lot of times when you talk about, being a warrior in a garden. Well, I come home from working and trying to do for my family and trying to provide for my family. And what I get is a whole bunch of complaining. What I get is a whole bunch of nagging. That's all that my wife ever does anymore. She just nags. That's it. I don't have anybody that respects me. Really, not honestly and truly. They don't respect me anymore. They just complain about what I do and I don't do, and I could do better and I can do more, and we're not taking it anymore. And they sit there and act like I'm not really doing anything for them. And it's demoralizing. It takes down your confidence level. It makes you not want to go out there and work as hard as you have been because they don't recognize it anyway. And that's the problem with a lot of these relationships. And that's why a lot of men are saying, no, I don't want to do that anymore. Well, you should be doing it because this, and this. You know, yeah, maybe. But y'all keep on disrespecting me, man. At some point in time, you can't keep on spitting in my face and then saying, now stay at your post, stay on your post. Don't you move your hand. Be disciplined. Why is every day for me an exercise in discipline, but every day for you is an exercise in undiscipline? Just reckless behavior. Why is every day for you? You get to get out here and talk crazy to me. You get to spit in my face, disrespect me, and all that stuff. And I'm supposed to take it every day. Why is that a thing?
Body count absolutely matters, but I can't say that because I'm a woman. And I just think it's so funny because anytime I come on here and I talk about body count mattering and to keep yours low or whatever, I have thousands of women in my comments telling me that I'm hurting women and that I should keep my mouth shut on topics about women, which I'm a woman. I feel like I can talk about it. Thanks. Also, second, when did I say anything about women? I said keep your body counts low or keep it 0. I didn't say a word about women, did I? Not once. But you feel targeted, right? That's the funny part. That's the part we need to be thinking about, right? If someone says a general statement of fat people should go to the gym and you're offended by that, it probably means you're fat and you need to go to the gym. If I sit here and I say, you're a bop, keep your body count low, and you're offended by that, if 2 + 2 = 4.
And you're seeing that because modern women don't want to take accountability. They don't want to take accountability. They're not interested in it. They don't like it. Why should she be saying this type of stuff? Why should she be talking to us like this? We need to have the option. You're setting us back by talking like this. We all need to be as a unit. You have to understand that a lot of women move in packs. They move as a unit. That it's just a social circle. They do it in trends. If somebody does a dance, they do a dance. If somebody uses a sound, they use a sound. I'm on for trends. You know about the woman who got divorced when her friends were doing this trend to where they told their husband, hey, I want a divorce. And the husband start begging, hey, no, we don't want that. Hey, can we go to counseling? Can we work it out? It was just a joke. But the woman says, hey, I'm regretting it now because I followed what my friends were doing and I went and did it. And now I'm in trouble. Now my husband wants a divorce and he don't seem to be backing off of it. They're following the pattern of what their friends got going on. A lot of these modern women do not think for themselves. And so when you move out of alignment with that, when you're not in lockstep with that, then you got a problem. We got a big problem. We got a huge problem. We're all supposed to be 304s. We're all supposed to be raising and running that body count through the roof. That's what's supposed. And when you come out here and you talk like this, you're not helping us out. Even if we don't want to be a part of that, even if we feel in our bones, in our mind, it's shameful, we're not going to speak up against it because we might be blasted for some other stuff. I might not even agree with what's being talked about, but I'm not going to say anything because I don't want the sisterhood to get on my case and kick me out, because then who am I going to lean on as a single mom who don't need no man, a strong, independent woman? Who am I going to lean on? I need my sisterhood. So even if I don't agree with some of the nonsense they're talking about, I can't say anything about it. Even if I done been out there, I have a baby daddy and I haven't been active since that, I'm not going to say anything, even though I'm like, yeah, no, I wouldn't necessarily do that. Well, you got a baby. Yeah, but I think I had sex maybe like once or twice. And unfortunately, it was unprotected. And then this happened to me. So I kind of got to live with that. But no, I wouldn't be out here trying to run my body count up. Well, you ain't really a feminist. Well, you ain't really a feminist, are you? Yeah, I am. I'm for women's rights and women's right to use their common sense, use their critical thinking skills. That's what I'm here for. So yeah, they gonna get mad at you because you speaking the truth.
It's the fact that you're putting an excessive amount of terrible food in your mouth.
The research into obesity shows that it cannot be fixed that way. So much of our body shape and how it stores fat and uses energy is built into the chemical of our brain. What our brain has decided is our set baseline for our body. And once your body has made that the chemical level, it will maintain that no matter how hard you work to change that.
Hasn't even been 13 minutes and someone already stitched my video with some bull crap. Nobody has a set point weight to where if you lose weight, you gain it back. Your body doesn't work like that unless you just stopped doing what's working. I'm starting to lose all hope in humanity. Like, where are you guys getting your information from? I'm gonna lose it.
I've also been getting a lot of comments like this, and it drives me insane because it is not true. No matter how many people on this app are gonna be like, well, no, you have to be attractive to approach. No, and this is exactly what I mean by it not being true. So I was at a coffee shop the other week and a guy came up to me and approached me and we started having a conversation, and it just so happened like we ended up sitting next to each other. 2 hours went by. Was I like feeling butterflies in this conversation? Absolutely not. Was he an objectively, attractive person? Maybe someone would say yes. There were certain things about him that were attractive, like he was well dressed, clearly took care of himself, was a good conversationalist. I was not attracted to this person, despite having a nice conversation. And I'll give myself credit for like not being a bitch and being like, I'm not gonna sit next to you, or just being like standoffish with him trying to make a conversation with me. Like, I'm not gonna do that because I'm not gonna treat someone with disrespect. Like, he clearly put himself out there to be kind and friendly for no reason to me. I mean, clearly his reason was to hit on me, but good for him for putting himself out there. Like, my lack of attraction to this person should not stop him from doing this to other women in a kind and respectful way. And, I'm glad I had the 1 to 2 hour conversation because it was nice to get to learn more about a new person and be curious. And so I think a lot of women don't do this, and they should be doing this, because when they don't do this, they make men feel like shit. And I know if I was a guy and I was rejected constantly, I'd feel like shit. So we need to teach women to not be bitchy to men who are just being kind and putting themselves out there. And men need to get this narrative out of their head that it's only the attractive ones that should approach, and then, they get the girl, because it's just wrong. It's literally just wrong.
And that's kind of the point. A lot of women should be doing this, but they don't do it. You said, and I give myself credit for not acting crazy towards him, which a lot of women do, instead of just being nice. Now, you went and talked for an hour, 2 hours. You didn't have to do that. Maybe like a 20-minute conversation, or maybe even like a 5 to 10-minute exchange would have been okay, right? And that would have been it. But y'all always talk about wanting people to be nice to you and wanting a platonic friendship. But a lot of times modern women don't open the door for a platonic friendship. It's not platonic. It's, well, he likes me and I don't like him, and maybe we can still be friends, but it's not actual friendship. It's me needing something from you and coming to you whenever I need that small thing from you. And then the rest of the time, we don't talk. We don't hang out. It's not really a friendship, at all. And men understand that. That's why they say, well, she just put me in the friend zone. She don't really respect me like that. She don't really like me like that. She just put me in the friend zone. She still uses me as if I'm her boyfriend or whatever, but there's no romantic feelings involved. So basically I'm doing for her, but why can't you just do it because you're nice? Right, I can. But if we're actually going to be friends, then we should just be friends. I don't want to be doing boyfriend stuff. But modern women don't understand that. They'd rather have a man around to do things for them, right? And this is what men have been saying the whole entire time. If you're attractive, you automatically get respect. And there's data for it on both sides, I would say. But if you're attractive, then most likely you're going to get respect. It's more likely than not you're going to get respect. So when you say men should approach, what you mean is an attractive man. He's going to automatically get respect in a lot of situations. But for the man that you don't find attractive, even out of your own mouth, you said, I had to work to show him basic human decency, basic respect. I had to work. I had to be intentional. I had to make a conscious decision to make him feel wanted in the situation. With all these modern women out here talking about, I don't know him nothing. I'm not doing anything for a man. You have to make a conscious decision to cut through all that noise and say, no, he's a human too. He deserves respect too. And that's how you might run out and somebody jump on you, try to rob you, and he busts out the door. No, 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 get off her, and sticks up for you. That's how that type of behavior happens. And I'll even say this, even outside of that, men will try to help you out as best they can. But usually what happens in a lot of situations is you get beat down so much and women are acting like this towards you. And then you're like, man, why should I continue to help people that don't even like me? They despise me. And well, why don't men protect and provide? Because you despise me. You just said a lot of women act like this. A lot of women act crazy. What am I supposed to make it at? You're acting crazy with me. And you want me to all of a sudden pay for your coffee, run out the door and make sure that man don't take you for all you're worth, after you just disrespected me and insulted me. So kudos to you for having some sort of awareness, but most modern women don't have this same type of accountability and awareness.
One of the reasons I will never have a spicy side is actually because I used to be like addicted to corn. Oh my God. A girl addicted? Yep. I fully support sex workers and their ability to make money the way that they want to, but I won't personally feed into something that I know can be really destructive. The same way I wouldn't encourage somebody who is an alcoholic to take a drink with me, or somebody who has a gambling addiction to come to the casino with me. It has taken me years to undo the damage that corn has had on my brain. It really warps your sense of what sex is and isn't, and what intimacy and love is and isn't. It also made it to where I needed more and more stimulation, to where I was finding myself engaging in activities that were super risky just to be able to get off on something. Now, I have not watched corn in, I don't know, probably 8 years or so, and I couldn't be happier with that choice. At least if we're going to look at like visual stimuli, which is completely normal, by the way, I do think maybe it should be something that's a little more tame and leaves more to the imagination. The same way that people will say that using a vibrator desensitizes you, it's not that it desensitizes you, but it absolutely conditions you to need a higher level of stimulus each time. So I will not be part of something that trains people's brains to need more and more of something, especially when it is the consumption of another person. So I'm sorry to let anybody down. I'm not testing the waters. I really am just not going to do it.
Finally, somebody taking accountability and being open and honest about what they have going on. A lot of modern women will be out here talking crazy, and then they'll say something silly like, oh, well, it's justified that we should do this. Oh, yeah, well, it's different when we do it because, we might not be thinking about anything, or even when we think about something that's harmless. It's harmless. So we should be able to do that. So you should be able to escape accountability. The stuff that y'all say to men, essentially y'all are calling men perverts. Well, you're a pervert for this, 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 and this. And as a woman, I would never, ever think like this. I would never, ever do this. Never, ever. That would never, ever cross your mind. Even after seeing you in another celebrity's comment section, thirsting, desperate over this man, talking about the positions that he can put you in. You don't even know this man. And you have a husband, by the way. Lustful. So thank you for somebody speaking up and saying, yeah, man, I used to do that. I struggled with it. And I haven't done it or looked at it in 8 years. So I'm not trying to be a part of that. Somebody that says, yeah, man, I was involved in that, but I'm trying to do better. I appreciate it and kudos to you. All right. So however she processes this, that's going to be her business. I'm going to read you a little something real quick, because I was thinking, I know they would like to say that this is creepy. I understand it, but we didn't see too many times where this has happened in stories, and it came to my mind. And so I asked ChatGPT, I was like, was Christian Grey a bit of a stalker? It said, if you mean Christian Grey from 50 Shades of Grey, then yes, by normal real world standards, a lot of his behavior comes off as stalker-like. Examples people point to: showing up where Anna is unexpectedly, tracking and monitoring her movements, controlling behavior framed as protection, pushing boundaries despite mixed consent dynamics. In the story, it's presented as intense romance plus control fantasy. But outside fiction, those same actions would be major red flags. So as a character trope, dark and obsessive. Okay. In real life, often unhealthy and potentially stalking behavior. I want to check something else out. Okay. So I want to know about the movie. So apparently 50 Shades of Grey came out in 2015. The movie made about 569 million worldwide on a $40 million budget. Wow. Wow. The first sequel, 50 Shades, they made 2 sequels? Oh, I didn't know that. The first sequel, 50 Shades Darker in 2017, also did well. About $381.5 million worldwide on a $55 million budget. Man, these brothers making money hand over fist. Okay. The second sequel, they made a second sequel. Why? 50 Shades Freed, 2018, made about 372 million worldwide. So just about the same as the second sequel on a $55 million budget. So they gave them the same budget and they still did well. So the sequels earned less than the first film, but they were still box office successes overall. The trilogy, or I should say trilogy, crossed $1 billion globally. Okay, so what about the books? Were they successful? Yes, the books were massively successful. The trilogy hit global bestseller list and became a major publishing phenomenon. It sold 100 million copies worldwide by early 2014, with about 45 million in the US at that point. Later reporting puts the series at 150 million plus copies worldwide, and some later interviews cite even higher totals. It also set a UK record as the fastest selling paperback at the time. So if by successful you mean sales and cultural impact, absolutely yes. Can I ask you a question? What was the demographic of people who are buying this? Would you say it was mostly men, mostly women? What was the percentages there? What were the percentages? It should be mostly women by a wide margin. Okay. What we can say from available data, a YouGov US poll in 2015 found that 19% of women versus 6% of men said they read 50 Shades of Grey. That implies women readers were roughly about 3 times as common in that sample. Okay. Broader romance market purchase data from Nielsen around the same era shows men were a minority of romance buyers, about 15% of men in Q1 of 2014. So roughly about 85% of women, up from 12% the year before. A Boker analysis specific to 50 Shades buyers also reported buyers were more likely to be women than typical adult fiction consumers. So if you want a practical summary, primarily women, roughly about 80 to 90%, with a meaningful but smaller male segment at 10 to 20%, depending on whether you're looking at 50 Shades specific surveys or romance book market proxies. So I said all that to say this. Women were buying that book. They're buying that book and they're reading that book. 150 million plus copies sold of the book. And then you had, I don't even want to do the math on that. The movie made 569 and then 381 and then 372. If you add up the $1 billion and divide it by the average ticket, can we sort of say how many people went to go see the movie? Or maybe you can say ticket sales. What were the ticket sales like? And I don't know if we have the demographic information about how many women actually went to the box office or purchased tickets for this movie. I don't even know if they have that data. I think I'm on, but because what they try to do is they try to say that's creepy, that's this, and this. But women are buying this stuff. Women see that they feel like this type of stuff is romantic. This stuff is romantic. Oh, he's watching me. He's stalking me. He's doing this, and this. No, no. A regular person would say, hey, man, that's creepy. But for modern women, they say, no, that's all right with me. I'm okay with that. He can do that to me all day long. I'm all right with that. Okay. So, yes, you can estimate it with one important caveat. Box office dollars does not equal unique people. I figured. Some people watch more than once. Okay. Premium formats cost more. That's fair. And prices vary by country. Okay. Using the trilogy's worldwide grosses. Okay. It's just listing off what they made again. That puts total worldwide gross at about 1.32 billion. So if you divide that by a rough average ticket price, $9 per ticket, you're looking at about 147 million tickets. At $10, 132 million tickets. At $12, 110 million tickets. So a practical estimate is roughly 110 to 150 million tickets globally. Okay, not unique individuals. Okay, for North America, we can do a cleaner estimate using yearly average ticket prices. 2015, the average ticket was $843. 17, $897. 18, $911. Okay, so domestic grosses there were 166 million and 114 million and then 100 million. So that's what it made in the US. 166, 114, and 100 million. So if we're estimating by these ticket prices, maybe a total of 43 million tickets in the US and Canada. Okay. On gender demographics, opening weekend audience for the first film was reported around about 70% female. For Freed, outlets, which is the last sequel there, for Freed, outlets reported roughly 75 to 78% female opening night / weekend samples. So yes, available evidence suggests the audience skewed female, especially early in release windows. We don't have a perfect full run global gender split from the box office reporting. We don't need to. We already have all of the information that we need. We already knew it, but I don't want to be out here talking BS. I already knew it, but I don't want to be out here talking BS. This is what that says. So, what do we have here? You can't call a man creepy, and this is what the women are reading. That's why they're talking about, I'm just going to go outside and take my chances. I'm going to look for a meet cute. The man comes around and says, okay, let me arrange a meet cute for you, because it's not going to happen. We've reported modern women being out here talking about, I want that, don't happen. Well, I went out in the wild and it didn't happen. Okay, well, I see you. I'm going to arrange it for you. Christian Grey, by the way, was a rich man. I just want to confirm that Christian Grey in the movie was a wealthy man. He was important. Like, people thought he was, yeah, okay. Yes, in the films, Christian Grey is portrayed as an extremely wealthy a billionaire business magnate, CEO of Grey Enterprises Holdings. I'm not lying to you. I'm not lying to you. Come on, man. Like, this is what these women are wanting. This is what they're looking for. And as soon as a man does it, and then you wonder where it comes from. If he was attractive, it wouldn't be creepy. If he was rich, it wouldn't be creepy. Well, I don't know how I feel about him now. The same way you felt about him. Has he been doing anything wrong to you? Has he been disrespecting you? Has he been acting crazy with you? No, he hasn't. So go on about your business and stop acting stupid.